So let's skip the intro and go straight to the passive skill tree. I'm a duelist, of course, and I went for the physical attack damage and I took the first attack speed note. Then I went for armor, evasion, alive, most of the arena. I went for bravery, art of a gladiator, leverage, and then I went down for cloak and chain, golem's blood. I have a Eul socket here, increased the physical damage, attack speed with when dual wielding, and melee damage. Then I went down for the big dual wield and I took blade barrier and amber dexterity. I also took vitality void, which are my main source of getting back life, and I also have mana and life leech. This is actually my main source of mana. I only need this one to sustain all my mana. And I have iron reflexes. Then I went for blade of kerning, I think it's called. I went up for the big life wheel here. Then I went for berserking. I have durability. I have another Eul socket here. Again, increases my block chance, physical damage when dual wielding, and melee damage. I have unraving stance, so I can't get stunned. I have a bloodless. I using diamond skin, so it's a little bit easy to max out your resistance. I also have armor mastery for a really nice boost to armor and also to movement speed and some life regeneration. I have Heart of the Warrior, and if you want more life and armor and want to have a little bit lower damage, you can always go for these nice armor and life note here. I have Born to Fight, Strong Aim, I have Barbarism, using another Eul here. You can see it increases my block chance, increased damage, increased physical damage when dual wielding, and attack speed. And I also have Juggernaut, and I have Razor's Edge, and Blade Master. And finally I have Resolute Nick. I can't crit, but I'm guaranteed to hit the enemy. For my Ascendancy, I went for Painforged, I went for Versatile Combatant, Outmatched and Outlast, and Gladiator's Violence, which are a really nice combination. So let's take a look at my gear and gems. So let's start with my weapons. For your weapons you want sword which have as high physical damage and attack speed as you can get. And keep in mind that your offhand weapon need to be faster than your main hand weapon. Otherwise you're going to lose a little bit of damage. For my helmet I'm using the Bring of Rain. Really nice helmet and really cheap to get. But if you don't want to use Bring of Rain, you can use a rare helmet which have as high life, resistance and armor as you can get. And the same thing are for your chest armor, which need to be either a 6-linked or a 5-linked armor. The armor I'm using right now, it's the stats will be ignored, and I'm just using this armor to level at skill gems. It will not give me any defense or anything because of Bring of Rain. For the rings and amulets you just want life and the resistance you need, and if you can, some flat physical damage. Same thing for the gloves, life, resistance, armor, and if you can, flat physical damage or attack speed. I'm using Magdaldora's girdle. You don't need to use this one, you can use a rare belt instead. Preferably a rustic stash, which have life and the resistance you need, and if you can, some armor. And for boots, again, defensive, try to get a pair of boots which have good armor, good life, the resistance you need, and if you can, some movement speed. For the flasks, I'm really recommending a Seer's Promise. It's a really cheap flask to get, and you probably get it when you beat a Siri. Then just some internal flask, and always carry a remove bleeding flask with you. And then I have a basalt flask, and then I have a little bit of a luxury. You don't need to have Taste of Hate. This is just a luxury, and you can use another basalt flask or Lion's Roar, for example. And you can just use another life flask. You don't have to use Taste of Hate because they're really expensive. So let's take a look at my skill gems. I'll start with my main damage setup, which are Dual Strike. And you can use other skills in this build. You can use Cleave, for example, and Blade Flurry, but I prefer Dual Strike. And Dual Strike are supported by Multi Strike, Melee, Splash, and added fire damage. But due to using Bring of Rain, they are also supported by Melee Splash, Faster Attacks, and Blind. For the auras and mana reserves I'm using Hatred and Herald of Ash. And I'm also using Blood Rage. I have a two movement skills set up, which are Leap Slam and Whirling Blades. And they're both supported by faster attacks and Blood Medic. I'm using a trigger block gem, which are reposed together with melee physical damage. And finally I have one custom damage taken setup, which are custom damage taken, and it is linked to Immortal Call and Warlord's Mark, and they are both supported by increased duration. The skill gems I have in my armor is just some skill gems I'm leveling up. I don't using them, and it's just there for leveling. And finally, for the bandits, I helped and killed. In normal I helped Oak, in cruel I helped Kratin, and in merciless I just killed all of them and took the passive skill point. So let's see this character in action. Thank you all for watching, and before we go, my tooltip DPS right now on this character is 108,000 with just my auras active. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and see you guys next time.